a pleasure and also an educational tour where we had an opportunity to interact with different school leaders there, and also we had an opportunity to visit schools there in Singapore and Malaysia. So this summit started with our chief speaker, Professor BVR Chaudhary from the Department of Physics, National University of Singapore. And he spoke on the topic Singapore education system and success story. In fact, we had a lot of things to draw from the Singapore education system, which actually helped the economy to develop, the education system, Institute of Education Singapore. And he spoke on the topic background and significance of research at the school level. This was also, we got a lot of inputs, and then he also suggested on participation of students in international Olympiads and other aspects to encourage on. And then the third speaker was Miss Anne Sivanathan. She was the executive member of the Association of Registered Child Care Providers in Malaysia. And the topic she spoke on was methodology, age appropriation curriculum, and worldwide appreciation. And she also gave us a lot of inputs at the early childhood years, what are the things that we need to introduce. And finally, the concluding speech was by Sridevi Gundapaneni, the academic director of Jubilee Hills Public School. She spoke on innovative practices in education. And that was the whole evening session there. And then after that, it concluded with awards to the schools for the best pedagogical practices. The 38 schools were awarded with those awards. And then that was about the summit we had. After the summit, we went around Malaysia and Singapore. And we had the opportunity to go to visit two schools. One was the Tanglin Trust School, which is almost a 50-year-old school, 90-year-old school. And we had the opportunity to meet and then spend a lot of time, almost half a day's time with the CEO there, Mr. Peter Derby Crook. And then we went around the school. We could see the school. That was a working day, and we had an opportunity to see the lavish labs and then all those things that they provided for the children. And we, in fact, carried home a lot of inputs from that too. And then we attended Character Montessori School, which is based on the Montessori methodology. And we had an opportunity to meet Mr. Kok Keong and his wife who were running that. And it was also a very good opportunity for us to learn a lot of things about Montessori methodology and also the way they are implementing it in Singapore. Enjoyed, and then that is about this particular summit that happened. That was the first International School Education Leadership Summit hosted by BRAINFEED in Malaysia. Thank you. Other children being, non-gifted children are being discouraged. How well we are equipped to handle that situation. Spoke about the gifted children who are identified, but they are gifted. Something like we can take examples, like Albert Einstein was 4 years old before he could speak and 7 before he could read. And then Thomas Alva Edison was a boy, his teachers told him he was too stupid to learn anything. Like that, there are things, we are unable to identify the gifted child too, okay? You can also throw some light on that particular aspect, that angle of the gifted child. Joined us just now, and some are sitting in the back benches. And we discussed at length for almost 1.5 hours about who this gifted child is and then what we can do about it. A very important aspect is, as Mr. John said and then others discussed, it is the environment we create right from the birth onwards. From womb to tomb, knowledge acquisition is an unending process, but 90% happens before 6 years. So in that particular age, what we create is most important. What we expose the child to or what opportunities we give the child to is the most important aspect. Okay? Traditionally, we have this saying from the Vedas, the shloka from the Vedas, which says, Guru Madhya Sthitam Vishwam, Vishwamadhya Sthitam Guruhu, Gurur Vishwam na Chanyosti, Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Guru is the embodiment of the knowledge and wisdom that is there in the universe, and the child gets it, the student gets it through the Guru. Now, of course, the Guru's place is taken by internet today, and we have some problems. Okay, all through the discussion for the last 2 hours, we have redefined a gifted child. Okay, now before we conclude, I just want to have the feedback This is a monthly session we are going to conduct, and then we are going to take different topics as far as BrainFeed is concerned. On behalf of BrainFeed, I just want to have your feedback on how this session was, and then what are you carrying home, and then what do you suggest, or your opinions, your comments and compliments about this session, and then how you want it to be, what changes to be made in the next session to come in the next month. We have a jam session, just a minute session. Hello, to conclude the session.